everybody, this is Bobby with Bobby Stamps, and I'm going to share with you guys this super cute calendar that I made so it'll sit on your desk. You can see easily stands, no falling over or anything, but it's a calendar and it has all 12 months. So this is going to be the project I always do each month. A promotion on my blog. If you spend $25, I send you a free make and take. If you spend $35, I send you 2. And if you spend $50, I send you all 3 make and takes. So this is the first make and take for my January projects. So this is going to be the calendar. I'm going to send you everything that you need to make this. You're going to get the calendar, the cardstock. The only thing I can't send is the ribbon. I don't have enough. I'm barely, as you can see, I barely am going to have enough to make one for this video, and I don't want to have to wait to order the products from Stampin' Up! If somebody orders in the next couple of days and then have to, them have to wait for me to send this. So that's the biggest reason why I'm not doing it. If I had plenty, I try to provide as much of the material to make it as I can. I'm going to send you the Whisper White cardstock so you can do the buffalo check if you have that stamp set. But I can't send stamped images, so it will just be a plain piece of Whisper White cardstock. Okay, so the sentiment that I am using, it says, wishing you a lovely day, and that is coming from the Forever Lovely photopolymer bundle that is in the New Occasions catalog. And my first class is already posted, and I'm using the Meant to Be stamp set. This is going to be my second class for January, so I have some awesome projects, cards designed for that class. You're gonna need the buffalo stamp, and then also I'm using the So Hoppy Together. This is a celebration stamp, so you get this free if you spend $50 during celebration. For every $50 you spend, you get a free celebration item. So this is one of the stamps they're offering for that. And then I'm also using the rectangle stitched framelits, and I have had these for a long time, and I just opened them today when I was making this card, and look how many rectangles you get, and I was like blown away when I saw this. So I used this one, and it's the third smallest one there, but I just could not believe my eyes when I opened this. There's 13 dies, and this comes as in a bundle in the new catalog. It's the Amazing Life bundle, and so you get a stamp set with that. I'm filming this before January 3rd, so I can't show you the inside of the catalog, but I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew that. Okay, so let's go ahead and we will get started, and I'll just make this really quick. So what I sent you, this is a piece of grainy apple green cardstock, and it's just cut at 4 1/4. I scored it at 5 1/2, and then I have another piece that you're going to get. This is grainy apple green as well, and then I scored it at 1/2 inch, 2 inches, and 3 1/2, and that's what we're going to make the inside easel in just a minute. You got your calendar, and we'll just take that off the front so you can see. So we have your calendar, and then you'll get the rectangle piece, and then the circle that we're going to stamp the frog on. And then I know there was something else. Oh, I would suggest tear and tape for the back of the calendar to make sure that holds really well. If you do have fast fuse, I don't, but if you do have fast fuse, that would probably work as well. So the first thing I want to do is bring in my Stamparatus, and I already have my paper in position. I cut mine a little bit bigger than what I'm going to need, so that way I can trim it down after I'm done inking. So what I'm going to do is I like to, I don't know if you guys can even see what I'm doing, but I'll scoot it this way so you can see what I do is I put a stamp set to help, because this will drop down. There's like a little gap there. So if you just lay your stamp set, it just makes it nice and easy. So I'm just going to ink this up with the grainy apple green ink. I'm just going to go all over it really, really well. Get a nice covering with that ink. And then you just simply close it. And I'm just going to push down really well with it. I have small hands, so this is kind of one of the harder stamp sets for me to use to get a good coverage. I'm going to try to look and see there. I've noticed if I try to lift it up, sometimes the paper lifts up and then it makes, like where I want to go in and re-ink, it moves and then I have to start over. So I've been trying to be very, very cautious of that when I do these and just make sure that the paper's not pulling up when I raise that up with the stamp set. First, the one I just showed you, the calendar that I made, the original one, I got it in one try. It stamped up really well. I'm just going to go right in the middle, I think, and see. Looks like that's about the only place that I'm having a hard time getting. So let me just focus on really pushing in there. Okay, and that's pretty good. We'll just leave that there. Okay, now I'm just going to remove my magnet so I can close this and move this. I'm going to go ahead and store my magnet on the back so I don't have to worry about losing it. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring in my little circle, and we'll take the little frog and we're just going to ink him up and stamp him right in the center. And then we're done with the Granny Apple Green ink. Move that out of the way, and we'll go ahead and bring in our little rectangle, and then I'm just going to ink this up really, really well. Kind of go over it a few times. I like to look through it and see if it looks like I'm getting a good coverage. Get that straight, and then we're just going to press that right down and then just pull up. Okay. Now I'm going to grab my paper trimmer. I've got too much stuff over here. Let me grab my paper trimmer. And I'm going to trim that piece of paper down to 4 by 5 1/4. And so I'm going to take this piece off, I think, over there. So I want that 4. And of course we're going to trim down here where I had the magnet. And it's 5 1/4. Okay, and there's still just a little bit showing there, but that's okay. It just kind of looks like it goes within that image. So let's go ahead and we'll put a little bit of snail. On the back, and then you're just going to center it all the way around on all 4 sides like this. And then the next thing that you want to do is I like to lay everything out just to make sure I'm going to have it where I want it at and everything's going to fit. And the first thing you want to do is put your calendar in the center. So I'm just going to kind of move those up, and then I just took some tear and tape, because you are going to be, you know, ripping those papers off every month. So, and I just kind of jagged if I came up short on this end, I just made sure to put it on the opposite end. And I think I'm going to put one right. I did 4 on the other one. I think I'm going to do one right there at the top too. Kind of right there. I'm going to just take my stylus and we'll peel all that off. And then you can just, that excess, you can just bend it back right there. It'll just fold right back. Okay. And now, like I said, I'm gonna make sure that I get it, I want it pretty much at the bottom, but we want to center it the best that we can too. Something like that. And that tear and tape sticks really well. So then this, we're gonna do kind of like that. So I'm going to put my snail And this has got to be really close up to the top. I just want just a little bit of that sticking out. And then before we put the little frog on, I'm going to go ahead and put this on here. And then we're just going to tie it in a small knot. Like that. I gotta grab my scissors. Just trim that off. And then I'm gonna go ahead and make that one shorter too. I'm gonna make sure, you know, it's not in the way of your... And then you can slide this if you need it, wherever you need it at. Let's grab some dimensionals. And I used 4. So top, bottom, and right and left is where I decided to place mine. Right like that, okay? And just make sure you have your ribbon where you want it, because your little circle's going to go over top of that. Okay. And then we're just going to place him. You want to make sure that you can still see the little, you know, our sentiment there. And I probably should have moved him up just a little bit, but I guess if you're careful when you rip January away, we'll be okay. But I should have made that just a little bit higher. So the way that you want to do this is you fold it in half this way, and this one goes up, and that one goes up. And I'm just going to take my bone folder and score them. Score this really good. Okay. And then I'm just going to, this is what I did with the original, just kind of eyeball it. You can trim off the excess if we have more than what we need. So we're just going to put that right there. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Just kind of eyeball it. And if we get more than what we need, we'll just trim it off. Okay, let me grab my scissors. Thought I had my little ones with me. Sorry about that. Left them across the room. I have too many projects going on. Sometimes it's easier if you take your bone folder and kind of hold that down and then just trim off any of the excess that we have. Okay. And then just take one of the sides, whoops, and then open this up, and you're just going to line it up on the inside, kind of like centering it in the middle, and then down at the bottom. Take this one, and then all we have to do is close that over, get underneath there, maybe take your bone folder, and then there you go. You have your calendar. So how you can earn this, visit my blog. All the details are there. And I will have the next video coming in the next few days for the 2 and 3 make and takes that I'm offering for December. And you can visit my blog. It's bobbystamps.com. Please make sure that you hit the like button and subscribe. Thanks, guys.